Been struggling with being brave enough to start a YouTube channel to create an audience. Would it help joining a lot of jams to try and start to build an audience there first? I've got some bad news for you, man. If you're struggling with being brave enough to start a YouTube channel to create an audience, the best way to start a YouTube channel is to start a YouTube channel. There's no like ways around it. You just gotta do it, man. Building an audience is really hard. And I think building an audience with game jams would be way harder than building an audience with YouTube. So I know it's scary. I know you probably don't want to dive into it, but like you'd have to make a lot of games to be there for a long time. Like Sock Pop has been around for, years and years and years at this point, and they're just now finally starting to get their stride with an audience. And they've made over 100 games and post them on Patreon and Steam, and so I wouldn't recommend that approach. I think building an audience and then making a game is probably the easier route. But YouTube is scary. I know. I used to be terrified.
I think though I've had a similar conversation with my wife, because for ages now we've been talking about creating a whole series on helping parents guide their tweens, which is basically kids that are 12 and younger, so from 8 to 12, to start practicing being an entrepreneur, making their own businesses, doing their own initiatives. And it's so confusing as a parent, because how do your kid's not really good at stuff, and how do they do a thing? Should they be trying to make money? There's so much in that. We've got so many ideas, and she's really great at thinking about these things, but she's got that exact same thing, just scared to put herself out there and have people say, who are you? Like, why are you telling me this? What do you know? And the only way to do it, Tim and I know this because we've both been on these exact same journeys, whether it's YouTube or making games or some other venture. And this is what most people who have an entrepreneurial flavor in them have done, is you have to make all of the bad things before you get to make the good things. So this is what I say to her. Cool, go make your 20 bad podcasts, because podcast number 21 is going to be really good. And you have to expect that they're not going to be good. So if you're saying, should I get and make a YouTube channel? I'm not sure. What am I going to do? Is it going to be any good? You have to expect that the first 10 videos you make aren't very good. You haven't figured out your microphone. You don't know about your camera and your lights. Like, I've been doing this stuff for years and years, and I'm still getting into this particular software that we use here. You know, Tim can tell you about this. For 5 minutes, I'm cursing because the green screen doesn't work properly, and my thing's all jittering and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, rah. So it takes time, but as you do it more, you're like, okay, well, I need one light there, and I need a light over here to light my green screen. And you don't know that until you do it enough times. And I had people commenting on my YouTube channel. They're like, Rick, like, not talking about the content at all, but Rick, your green screen is terrible. So that's been a journey for me, just one example of green screen. But what you say, how you say it, what you deliver, what people are interested in, what they want more of. So exactly the same with games. Don't be scared to make 3 bad games that everyone hates, because that is the only way to make good games, is by first making bad games. Same with YouTube, same with anything out there in the world. So don't be scared of doing it. Embrace it, because everyone does it. Go look at my YouTube channel. Go look at Tim's YouTube channel. Yeah. Find the original videos and marvel at the technology and the conversation. Hello, I'm Rick. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's a rite of passage that you have to kind of be a part of, because there's so many things that you learn along that path and along that journey that you would not be even remotely aware of. And then 2, you just need practice. You just need practice doing the thing. Like, it's definitely scary. Like, my first videos on YouTube did not have my face at all. I used like whiteboard animation, and they were taking like 10 hours of video. And the only reason I haven't put my face on YouTube is just because, like, I'm not doing 10 hours of video. That's not a thing I'm interested in. And so I started using my face, and then I kept getting views, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe this works. And, from there, I kept going, and I got better. And some of the videos still look horrible. Like, some of the like angles and stuff I have, like, here, let's show this.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
This is 5 years ago. This is a video. I mean, now granted, I had a decent camera, so it looked okay, but like, I don't know what I got in the background. I tried.
You got a little bit of the like, look at me. What's going on? You got the lean back.
Yeah, I'm like leaning back. You're like looking up my nose. You can see up my nose. Okay, in this You can literally see up it.
You
And
look
then I
so
don't got
cute
no
and young
beard.
though. Look at how old are you there? 12? Like,
Like, you know what? Let me tell you what the dumb stuff I was insecure about. I was insecure about having mismatched monitors. I thought people were gonna judge me because I had two different monitors, and so I was
mm,
really insecure about this whole like setup. I thought it was like gonna be a bad thing, and then two, like you see my hand movements. I'm not even my eye contact is like all over the place,
yeah.
and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know kind of where I'm going, dude. It's part of the deal. It's part of experience. You got to make a lot of bad stuff before you make good stuff, and I think you got to reduce your standards too. That's something that a lot of people that don't do things like YouTube or any of that, they don't get. Like, reducing your standards is important, because you
Okay.
try to do stuff too good, and then
I'm
you
gonna
get crippled.
I'm gonna smash you out of the water here. I didn't want to get
Okay.
competitive with this, but I'm gonna show. I think I might have unpublished a couple of videos, but I left up my very, very first video on YouTube exactly for this purpose, to show you the awfulness that was my first video ever. This is me. Look at that. I don't know. Is someone holding the camera? Am I holding it? I think. Look at me looking
It's
around.
shaking. Somebody's holding it. I think.
Shaking. I'm in front of a tree and a house, and I'm looking like a ghost. And I don't know what's going on with a little bit of hair poking out the top of my shirt there. And got a lav mic though. I had a lav mic, so it sounded okay, I think. Although I'm not. Let me just turn up that you guys can't hear it, but I don't know. And I'm holding a note card because I'm looking at my notes and looking down. Okay, so I'm doing. I haven't watched
You
this
have
for
note
ages. I don't
cards.
even know. That was me doing, like, instead of a whiteboard or having things on the screen. I'm like, anyway. But the whole point, I think, what we're trying to make here, I didn't realize we're going to get all embarrassing and embarrass ourselves, but I'm glad that we did, because it keeps us humble and human. The point here is you've got to be willing to put yourself out there and do the things that aren't very good, because that's the only way to get better.